Hello students, now welcome to my channel LP Edutech. If you are new to my channel, kindly share, subscribe and like it. We have been looking the chapter number 5 of Geography Standard 12th entitled as Secondary Economic Activities, in which we have got the introduction with the secondary economic activities in the part 1. Okay, we have solved the equation based on the map of Solapur district. Now, in this video, we are going to learn about the physical factors affecting the location of the factories, physical factors, economic factors, political factors, and other factors. So, let us stay tuned and together. So, let us understand about the physical factors affecting on the location of the factories. Number one factor, climate. Now, harsh climate is not much suitable for the establishment of the industries. There may not be any industries development in the extreme hot, humid, dry, or cold climate. So, the very mild climate is required for the establishment of the industries. Now, see, let us example the extreme type of climate of northwest India or extreme north India hinders the development of industries. Their change in climate conditions, for example, may also affect the industries. For example, chronic droughts. Chronic droughts may affect, even the cold also affect. Now, in contrast to this, the moderate climate of western coastal area is quite congenial to the development of industries. Earlier, when the artificial threads and mechanization were not used for making textiles, cotton thread making required humid climate because thread breaks in a dry climate. Consequently, majority of cotton textile mills were concentrated in coastal parts of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Artificial humidifiers are used in dry areas these days, but it increases the cost of production. As the expenditure increases, so the cost of production also increases. So in short, the mild climate is required. If there is harsh climate, it is impossible to grow the industries over there. So climate is the affecting factor. The next factor, availability of raw material. Raw materials used in industries mainly come from farms, mines, forests, fisheries, etc. Thus, the location of industries is dependent on the nature of raw material. Industries depend on perishable, heavy, bulky, and weight losing raw materials such as sugarcane are located near the raw material areas. As an example, in previous video we have seen this. Even the jute mills, sugar milk are mostly concentrated close to the sources of raw material for this very reason. Similarly, industries processing local fruits are found near Mahabaleshwar and Nagpur. Perishable fruits need to be processed soon and hence they are located near these cities. As we know it very well that Mahabaleshwar is famous for the strawberry production. So, the food processing industries is mainly located over there and there itself. The many food processing industries and the factories are set up there where the strawberries is processed and various items like the chocolate and the different flavors and even liquid flavors also prepared there and there itself. So this decreases the cost of transportation and availability of raw material is available, so it is easy to get it and prepare, process and sell it. Next point, water and power supply. Almost all the industries require plenty of water for various processes like cooling, smelting, washing, etc. Thus, such industries are located near the banks of river or near lakes. Cool oil and electricity are indispensable energy resource in running any type of industry. coal is heavy and bulky. Thus, industry depend on coal as energy resource are located near the mining areas. Electricity and oil can be supplied through wires and pipelines easily over long distances. Hence, industries dependent on it need to be located near their source region. So the both things are very interdependent, and there is need of collaboration of these both things for the good production of the good production of the items. So those industries which requires more and more water, they situated at the bank of the river or near to the lake for getting the supply of water. And even the coal, oil, electricity are indispensable energy resources in running any type of industry. So the coal is heavy and bulky. Therefore, the industries depend on coal as energy resource. They are located near the mining area. Next point, labor. A different type of industries require different types of labor. For example, the construction, mining industries or textile industries require semi-skilled laborers. So semi-skilled laborers are okay at this in such type of industries. But whereas food processing industries, ornament making industries require skilled laborers. In spite of increasing mechanization, some industries still require a large number of workers. Hence, we find that labor colonies are found near a large industries. So it will be easy for the workers as well as for the industries to get the work done as early as possible. And also this will save the money of the company which they are spending on the transportation. Next point, transportation. The cost of transportation and time required to carry goods is known as economic distance. Low cost of transportation is the key factor in the location of industries. So cost of transportation will be more for heavy, bulky and perishable raw materials and for longer distances. For example, the transportation of coal. On the other hand, the lightweight and the non-perishable items can be brought from the distance through cheaper transportation like waterways. So such industries may be located near the ports or river. For example, the cotton textiles or pulpwood as they are located near the river. So the cost of transportation is the important factor which affecting the these production industries. The cost of transportation will be more for the heavy, bulky and perishable raw materials. So therefore, it is preferred that in order to save this transportation cost, the main industries are located and set up at the raw material where the raw material is easily available. Next point, site or availability of land. Site requirements for industrial development are of considerable significance. Location should be generally flat and well served by adequate transport facilities. So near to that location, more transport facilities must be available and it should be the flat one. The large areas are required to build factories. Earlier industries were concentrated near urban areas, but now because of non-availability of land and high prices, there is a tendency to set up industries in rural areas. Therefore, we can see the many industries are moving towards the rural area instead of the urban areas. For example, Lod Parshuram Industrial Area in Chipalun and Chakan in Pune. So this is the pic of Lotte Parshuram Industrial Area in Chipalun. And even government also giving boost for the industries to set up it in a remote areas where there is less employment opportunities and where the area is challenging one. In this way, government providing them subsidies as well. This is the pic of Chakan Industrial Area in Pune. Chakan Industrial Area. Now let us understand the economic factors affecting the location of the industries. Number one, proximity to market. The entire process of manufacturing is fruitless, is futile until the finished goods reach the market. Yes, all things are prepared in the industry just to reach it in the market. If it is not reached in the market and not sold at all, then it is totally useless. Nearness to the market is essential for quick disposal of manufactured goods. So it helps in reducing the transport cost and enables the consumer to get things at cheaper rates. Why at cheaper rate? Because transportation cost is reduced, so therefore the things are available in cheaper rate. Ready market is the most important essential for the perishable and heavy commodities. Sometimes during the process of production, products become bulky and delicate. For such final product, industries are located towards market. For example, cake as a final product of heavier than raw materials. So that's why the such industries are located near markets, that is city area. Next point, capital. Capital or huge investment is needed for the establishment of industries. Industries are located in those areas where banking and financial facilities are easily available. As a matter of fact, capital is attracted to those areas where industries are where industries are localized, which in turn attract more industries. Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and Delhi, being the centers of industries, have better banking and financial facilities than other cities. So, there we can find the concentration of major industries. Now, with an expansion of a better banking facilities in rural areas, the industries can also be located there, as the capital and or the financial help is the most important factor. So, just to get it easily available, it is mostly available near to the urban areas. Therefore, the urban areas are mostly flourishing, and nowadays it is also available in village areas. So, these are also getting good opportunities. Next point, political factors. Number one, government policies. The government may give boost to industries producing certain goods by giving several incentives, because it's up to the government. The government can give the good incentives, or we can say the good set subsidies for the particular industries to give a boost to that industries. It may provide finance, land, water, transport, and communication facilities at subsidized rates. So government can help those industries to stand stand up in the means of finance, land, water, transport, or communication facility can be provided by the government. It may promote industrialization in economically backward regions with a view of developing these regions. So, when particular regions are economically backward, so government give a boost to those companies or the industries to establish their industries in such areas, so that the people of those areas also get the employment. And in economically, in terms of economics, so economic growth and stability can be achieved by that region as well. It also provides tax concession, marketing consultancies, export and import facilities to industries and entrepreneurs who establish industries in such regions. So in what way government is helping them? Government losing the policies, actually losing it means giving flexibility to their policies of industries, giving concessions for providing land, water, transport, communication facilities, and even marketing consultancies also provide the tax concession as well, so that the company can stand and the employment can be achieved by the local peoples and the progress of particular region can be achieved. For example, the D and beyond categories of government of Maharashtra industrial policy. At the same time, government may also discourage location of industry in a particular area like coastal zones or eco-sensitive areas to maintain the economical balance of particular area. Government may change or make some amendments in the industrial policy of the government for maintaining the balance of the region and achieving the economic progress of the state as well as the nation. Setting up SEZ, that is Special Economic Zones. Many governments support establishing such zones or regions which are specially developed for industrial production. In India, they are called Special Economic Zone. They are specially developed for industrial production. So they are specially remarked geographical zones which can be developed by private sector or public sector or in public private partnership, that is PPP model. Even private company establish, sometimes government also supports private company to establish, and sometimes it is totally public private partnership, that is both PPP model. So these are mainly developed to boost export quality production in the country. So such SEZs attract many industries to be set up there. For example, SIPS near Santa Cruz. See the examples. It is before you. So these are the special economical zones where government has given the lands, water, electricity and help support everything. Capital is also provided, even concession the tax for the industries to establish to develop the particular regions economically. So that is the purpose behind it, setting up SEZs, that is special economic zones. Now let us consider some other factors as well. Number 1, split location. Split means dividing locations. Sometimes the different stages of production are decentralized and production is organized at different places. So instead of doing all the production at one place at the one central level, it is decentralized, that is going away from that particular center. So it is decentralized and set up in somewhere else place for reducing the transport costs. In mobile industries and automobile industries, various parts of commodity are made in different areas and assembled at one place. So splitting up the production of commodity at different places reduces costs. So we know it very well. The various parts of the mobiles are brought from the different places, different regions. It is got prepared there, and at the one place all are assembled and the mobile is prepared. Even other things, automobiles also. So this is called as the split location. Next point, economies of scale or agglomeration. The availability of various facilities leads to the establishment of industries in a region. Right? If the industry is established, the various facilities also established nearby to the industries. So by using the available opportunities according to economies of scale, the region attracts more industries with time. So consequently, concentration or agglomeration of industry occurs in this region. That means, suppose a few industries are established at one place, so other facilities are also provided along with these industries. So by witnessing this, the more industries attracts towards these industrial areas, and they also get the place there. They also get it established. So as a result of this, the above mentioned physical and economic factors have no influence on location. A special characteristics of such a region is that industries that are mutually complementary to each other are established here. For example, all over the world, places where iron and steel industries were located saw the development of industries which use steel as raw material, which utensils, automobiles, accessories, locomotives. So all things which are interdependent on these industries, particular industries, they all other industries also come and set up there and there itself. So all and everything are produced there itself. So this in turn led to establishment of car manufacturing units, packaging industries, railway engines manufacturing industries, etc. Now this is again example illustrated. Iron and steel industries were located. He saw the development of industries which use steel as raw material. Utensils, automobiles, accessories, locomotives. So other things which required this raw material as a steel, they also get set up near to that particular industries and get it established and flourish. In this way it is set up. So due to such agglomerations, new industries get more profit as compared to the low investment due to economies of scale. Next one, Footloose Industries. A footloose industry does not have a strong locational preference because the resources, production skills, and the consumers on which it depends can be found in numerous places. So its resources, production skills, and the consumers, they are not at all centered at one place. It can be found anywhere. So there is a ample scope for such industries. So the particular or fixed location of such industries is not fixed. Such a company may relocate anytime, hence the term footloose is used. The internet and other forms of advanced communication technology have made location completely detached from both resources and market considerations. Some prominent examples of footloose industries are watchmaking, diamond cutting, etc. Now just again look at it. The footloose industries are those that do not have to locate close to raw materials. Okay. Even the footloose industries locate in pleasant environments near transport routes and near the markets. Example is computing. And footloose industries have to locate close to research centers like universities. Development in the high-tech industries happen so fast, so that the company need to stay updated to survive. Example, science parks around the Cambridge. So footloose industries are usually non-polluting and can locate close to residential areas. So these are the examples of the footloose industries. Visa, Pepsi, the Bank of America, Coca-Cola. So it is established at the market. Like the inputs, the output is lightweight and can be easily transported to the markets. Most of the footloose industries produce low volume and high value output. Honey industry is a footloose industry as its location is not related to weight of raw material or finished products. As its consumer is available everywhere, so it can be established anywhere. Even diamond cutting industries is also example of footloose industries. Even watchmaking industries is also example of footloose industry. So that's it for this video, students. If you really like my video, its explanation, you please like, share and subscribe it. Thanks for watching.